Kaohsiung's Jing Si Hall opens for the first time as a vaccine center despite heavy rains in the area. Tzuji's Luzhou Jing Si Hall used ice to cool down elderly residents waiting to receive a vaccine. I'm Sean Scanlon. This is DAI Headlines. Let's get started. Kaohsiung Jing Si Hall was a venue for vaccinations for the first time. Though there was a heavy rain on the first day, volunteers made some adjustments to prevent the elderly from getting wet. Here's more.
When a wet car drove into the driveway, there was no need to worry about the rain, and a wheelchair user could get out of the car calmly. Vaccination volunteers guided people coming to receive vaccination into the treatment area. It was raining heavily on the first day for Kaohsiung Jing Si Hall to start vaccination.
The master has taught us to be caring. As we're afraid that the elders would get wet in the rain, we set up this tent and made an exception to allow the cars to drive into the Dai Plaza, where it's not usually open to cars.
In the heavy rain, the director of Samin's second precinct with an umbrella directed the vehicle to enter the tent and receive the elders.
Welcome to return often. Make this place your home. Blessing to you.
The volunteers and the Kaohsiung city government joined hands to give the elders peace of mind throughout the vaccination process.
It would be very happy for the elderly to come here to receive vaccination. Grandpa, Grandma, don't worry. The service provided by Tzuji is very good.
Among the people receiving vaccination, some are Tzuji volunteers and their family members.
When I first knew that we would receive vaccination at the Jing Si Hall, I felt at ease because there are Bodhisattva's blessings here. It feels like home.
After receiving vaccination, the people walked out the Jing Si Hall with peace of mind.
COVID vaccination began in New Taipei City with 5 locations involving Jing Si Halls. Many volunteers assisted with vaccination, with local residents sending drinks and tofu pudding to thank these hard-working volunteers.
A total of 50 cups of beverage were delivered to the Luzhou Jing Si Hall by the store owner under the sun.
There was a customer saying that you guys are really working very hard, so he ordered some beverages in our store and asked us to send them over to you. In the morning, he brought his mother here to get a vaccination and thought that working like this under the strong sun is too hard for you.
And there were owners from another store working together to carry out a heavy box filled with more than 60 cups of tofu pudding.
He is my classmate in college. He is very touched. Thank you to the volunteers' assistance.
During the short noon break, with the loving desserts to cool down the body, the lunchbox was especially delicious, and volunteers' tiredness has disappeared at all.
It's delicious, very sweet.
It's delicious. It's really great.
Our safety is safeguarded by the healthcare workers. Without their sacrifice, we wouldn't be so safe. I am moved to tears while watching the news every day. Thank you. Thank you for the hard work of the frontliners.
Accompanied by her granddaughter, as soon as she entered the vaccination station at Shanghai Jing Si Hall, 83-year-old Grandma Fu was very excited. This was her first time out since the pandemic outbreak, and it became a journey of gratitude.
My heart goes out to them. I really have sympathy for them. I hope everyone will behave and listen more to the healthcare workers.
3 years ago, Grandma Fang started to have mobility issues and also suffers from chronic diseases. Her son, who worked at the airport, took advantage of the first weekend since vaccination began to bring his parents here.
He will call us every day. He is very filial.
He does everything well and never bothers us.
Just take the responsibility of being a son.
Many warm stories are present silently in every corner of the Jing Si Hall vaccination stations.
Many say to reach herd immunity, at least 60% of the population need to be vaccinated in Taiwan. That means nearly 14 million people, with many hoping Taiwan-made vaccines can clear third-stage clinical trials to help protect the public.
When Level 3 alert went into effect for COVID-19 in Taiwan, everyone was concerned whether the stay-at-home restrictions would ever be lifted. The domestically produced vaccine is also facing some obstacles.
The vaccine group's seroconversion rate was 99.8%, while the placebo group was 0. Nearly all the vaccine group participants, after receiving both dosage of the vaccination, achieved immune response.
The long-awaited vaccine from Medigen Vaccine Biologics Corporation revealed their findings from the successful second clinical trials, seroconversion of 99.8% and less side effects than other leading pharmaceutical companies. Are they about to blow their own trumpets?
Especially in the fever symptoms, it was very low. The vaccine group compared with the placebo group, the normal pain, soreness, and swelling was basically pretty high.
Although the data numbers look good, they were unable to provide a number for protection strength, which was the perfect opportunity for voices of doubt to come in.
These clinical patients have protected themselves well because some of them are healthcare workers, so as of right now, no one has been infected by the virus, so it's a 7-to-1 result. Those who were in the placebo group also protected themselves very well against the virus, so they have not been able to have findings for protection strength.
Former National Taiwan University Hospital Dr. Kaohsiung says in a radio interview that their numbers for seroconversions is just the minimal requirement, which means their vaccine is considered passing normally.
The point is, how high of a count is your antibody? Because the higher the antibody, the higher the protection strength. So talking about high percentage of seroconversion is just okay. Vaccine clinical trial, these types of numbers are very basic.
Looking at international requirements for emergency use authorization, a vaccine needs to be midway completed with their third-stage clinical trials before approval. Yet Medigen has only completed the second phase of their trials, and they are asking for EUA. Questions have risen that perhaps they are forcing this vaccination to happen before it has been completely tested for safety. This skip and step perhaps may mean the vaccine is not approved internationally.
If our domestically produced vaccine is not approved internationally, then this may be a problem. If we can produce a fast and effective antibody certification, then I think that certification can be recognized globally.
Medigen Corp is taking a shortcut and using the immunological bridging approach to replace traditional phase 3 trials. Although the World Health Organization has discussed the approval of such an approach, there was no definite conclusion on the approval of it. Thus, Taiwan's approach to using it does not look favorably in the eyes of some experts in Taiwan.
The answer has already been obtained by Taiwan CDE from the FDA. It was not suggested as an approach.
Information has been revealed that Taiwan's Center for Drug Evaluation inquired about obtaining an EUA in regards to replacing third-phase clinical trials in vaccine testing with immunological bridging to the Federal Drug Administration in the United States, and it was respectfully denied.
Not only Taiwan, but England and South Korea have done similar approaches where immunological bridging was used to gain approval of emergency use because third-phase testing is not possible right now. There are many vaccines in the market currently, and you want trial participants to take a placebo and not a vaccine on the market is against academic ethics.
If Medigen wants to earn the trust of the people and global citizens, then they need to follow the rules starting now. They have to conduct third-stage testing, otherwise this trust will never be achieved.
Among this heated drama with rolling out domestic vaccine, all citizens care about is getting a safe dosage against the virus. If the controversy doesn't end, how will the citizens ever feel at ease getting vaccinated?
To thank frontline medical workers, a Tzu volunteer in Taipei, Luo Hengyuan, wrote a song. With the help of a production crew, the song was later published onto the internet. For 2 days, the Shuanghe Jing Si Hall vaccination station played the song, deeply touching medical workers at the scene.
At the vaccination station, there's a song playing in the background. A music video was also playing to attract visitors.
After I heard it, I felt deeply moved. I wanted to cry, yes. I thought about going home, and the lyrics really inspired me a lot.
The COVID prevention music video also has Master Zheng Yan's presence in it. The 5-minute video was completed in under 2 weeks. Interestingly, the producer doesn't have a musical background.
I can write the lyrics, but the melody comes from moving moments. It's very natural and it's also the Taiwanese spirit.
For years, Luo Henyuan was a businessman, but he also had an interest in making songs and lyrics. His thankfulness to frontline medical workers over a year is compressed into 137 words.
多少人体横在你面前。昨天晚上传给你那个录音档，你听了吗？有没有帮我把谱腾出来？
Video calling a retired musical teacher in Miaoli, and after several discussions, the song is finally completed, as Luo Henyuan is ready to move on.
重复一次的那个地方，你觉得那样子的曲调是按照这样子就好，或是说要把它拉高起来？
我听到他唱了，我就觉得很有感。
I heard him sing and I thought that he was great, so we wanted to set this song in place.
看见那风雨的英雄。
After recording at a studio, more singers came in to help, but the hardest part is processing video footage.
Okay, Brother Luo, the footage I gave you earlier is okay, right?
The 4-minute song also had video footage since the video editor from Jiayi helped out. For 1 week, the team had a lot of footage to process.
No matter day or night, for 1 year straight, these medical workers have stayed at their posts. The spirit has deeply moved me. 慈悲身影，我们都看见，看见那防疫的英雄，舍己为人，台湾精神的展现。
Tzuji's Luzhou Jing Si Hall has also become a vaccination station. Due to the scorching sun, volunteers have prepared large ice blocks to help everyone keep cool. Here's more.
Large edible ice blocks, each weighing several kilograms, were delivered to Luzhou Jing Si Hall early in the morning.
The people coming for vaccination are over 85 years old, sometimes 97 or even 101 years old. See, with this big fan operating right behind, when its wind comes, the surrounding temperature will drop.
The powerful electric fan allowed the air to flow quickly under the tent at the podium. Coupled with ice blocks, the hot air could be cooled off. The ice could also be used to chill water bottles and tea.
When there are no elderly people coming in, we will take a rest and drink it. It will be more comfortable.
After disinfection, I will touch the ice cubes to cool down myself. I will probably get heat stroke when I go back.
Sweat, tears, everything is on my face. I am grateful for you to have such filial children.
The sun shines brightly outside the tent. The scenes of family harmony often moved Yang Huizhuan to tears. It was worth taking a few days off to volunteer.
In the past, many of us would always say we were too busy to care for our parents, so we left them at home. Only when I came here to volunteer, I have seen many people who are very filial.
On weekends, 10 case managers did not take holiday, came to volunteer in shifts. As long-term care center is the 5th vaccination priority group, they have the responsibility to help.
For our long-term care center, we have nurses, case managers, and our administrative staff here. We have the power to protect ourselves and our colleagues, so we can come here to contribute.
In the midst of the pandemic, Luzhou Jing Si Hall turned into a vaccination station to safeguard the health of the community.
After the Tainan Tzuji Sanhua Liaison Office became a vaccination site, Tzuji volunteers not only prepared vegetarian food for on-site medical staff, but also promoted it to the public. Doctors from Daling Tzuji Hospital explained the importance of being vegetarian, and so did the Tainan mayor.
Tzuji volunteers seized the opportunity to promote vegetarianism to the people who came to vaccinate.
We gave out fu hui porridge along with the pandemic prevention card, and all the rest areas up and downstairs are posted with our big posters promoting vegetarianism.
If you have vegetarian food as much as possible, even if you really conform the virus, only 3% will get severe illness.
Doctors from Dalian Tzu Chi Hospital also explained the importance of eating vegetarian diet towards pandemic prevention.
I think it's good to be vegetarian. I currently hear that many severe illnesses are caused by eating too much meat.
Tzu Chi Foundation promotes vegetarianism to prevent the epidemic. We hope everyone will respond together.
At the Sanhuan Liaison Office in Tainan, Tzu Chi volunteers cook delicious food for the vaccinated medical and frontline personnel.
The master said that vegetarian is a must. We want to break the stereotype of vegetarianism in the past and prove that vegetarian food is actually very delicious.
It's very colorful. I am grateful to Tzu Chi for helping us prepare such a rich and delicious vegetarian meal.
I feel very comfortable after I ate, and I can have more energy.
The delicious vegetarian bentong has become a source of energy for the frontline personnel, and everyone uses the healthy diet to fight the virus.
New Taipei's COVID outbreak is severe, with 300 local police staff serving as pandemic investigation volunteers. They asked about the activity history of confirmed cases to help identify hotspots. Here's more.
New Taipei City's pandemic situation is severe as the New Taipei City Police Department has established an epidemic investigation and analysis center to use scientific methods to check movements of confirmed cases.
On the screen, the part marked in red is the place where people diagnosed with COVID. In mid-June, New Taipei had confirmed more than 5,000 cases, and the entire image became red. The Epidemic Investigation and Analysis Center has helped visualize the hotspots of the pandemic. Through data research and analysis, municipal government can take countermeasures.
The Banqiao's western area is the most serious along with Zhonghe. These two areas from the beginning have been hot zones for epidemic prevention as we establish epidemic rapid screening stations and now stations for vaccination.
In fact, this visual analysis platform is not only the first in Taiwan, but it is usually used to analyze public security and traffic hotspots. It analyzes big data to find out which places are the most frequent places for driving infraction reported by citizens. In hot zones of traffic violations, police are deployed in advance to stop the violations from occurring.
For example, during spring last year, we looked at what were the hotspots at night. Then we used this data to judge how to deal with our business planning this spring. We found the movement of people with COVID could also be used when the data come out. We were surprised to see that the same date, time and location could be used on this visual analysis platform. We combined the information of confirmed COVID cases with GIS maps and found that there is a certain degree of regional hotspot.
Visualizing the pandemic not only shows the hotspots, but also the alleys where the confirmed persons pass by. Through inspecting cameras at the intersection, one can also determine the license plate number and track down people, not missing any clues.
We can take some photos from camera monitors to map out this person's road.
Zhang Junyang gave an example before the outbreak of the pandemic. He found a case in Sanzhong who rode a scooter to the MRT station every day and took the airport MRT to Novotel in Taoyuan to work. When he became ill, he thought it was a common cold. He visited 3 hospitals and several clinics before doing a rapid COVID diagnosis.
You can see, from April 1st to April 27th, almost a whole month, we can trace the route of his entire journey. We are very worried about this. After such a long period of time, we don't know which day he contracted COVID and had come into contact with so many people.
New Taipei Police Department has invested more than 300 police officers with telephone investigations similar to the spirit of handling criminal cases. When someone diagnosed with COVID after a long length of time doesn't tell his route or deliberately conceals information, police officers behave in good faith and seek justice.
One elderly man who was a confirmed case revealed that he had been to the Wanhua area. He and his friend went to Qingchao Lane to buy traditional Chinese medicine, but when we asked him for more details, he hesitated.
For pandemic investigations, police officers will inquire carefully, confirming which store the person went to buy things, the address of the store, what means of transportation to go there, and which friends accompanied them.
Suppose he may say that he went to a supermarket in Sanchong or PX Mart. I will immediately open Google Maps to confirm with him through photos, because some people can't tell or remember. But this thing must be clear for health units to do disinfection. If you only say PX Mart but unable to say which one is it, this could cause a public panic.
Pandemic investigation work needs to find as many contacts and routes of confirmed cases as possible, transforming such collected data into map points to help each government unit identify and monitor high-risk areas to achieve the best health prevention results. In China's Haikou City, a Tzu Chi volunteer named Lin Caiju is especially dedicated to recycling, as she often makes regular trips to communities in order to collect styrofoam and bottles and cans. At the age of 69, she visits the Nansha recycling station every day.
After preparing tools such as scissors, ropes, and bags, Lin Caiju is ready to collect glass bottles on the streets.
I come here every day to collect 20 cardboard boxes, sometimes 10 boxes and at least 7 or 8 boxes. There are paper cans and bottles. I must do this because if I don't, these items will take up space.
When she is pulling the glass bottles, since she's old, the 4 bags are very heavy, so I told her to be careful. It's slippery, so you must carry it slower. Do not rush. She listens to me well.
69-year-old Lin Caiju felt that as she ages, her stamina would deteriorate, but she still insists on doing recycling.
Sometimes I feel dizzy, but I still do it. 1 day is a day because I made a vow to Master Zheng Yan, therefore I must do recycling until my last breath.
In 2012, Lin Caiju began her relationship with Tzu Chi as she lived a disciplined life during recycling. Her sister, Lin Caimei, also accompanies her along the volunteering path.
She started going meatless after doing recycling, and because of that she has a better physical condition. After going vegetarian, she doesn't have the pain anymore. She also has a better personality. In the past, I would say something, then she will yell. Now she won't.
As long as she can move, Lin Caiju is willing to give it all to do recycling, safeguarding the planet with love.
Tzu Chi volunteers from Gold Coast, Australia had to adjust their distribution due to COVID this year, asking recipients to line up and return home quickly after receiving goods to ensure public health. We leave you with these images. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.